Hello everyone, this is Here's Trivia. Welcome back to Season 4 of our Subscribers Game Tournament as we continue here in Round 2. And in our second match, we have our second-seeded player, Disloyalist in the green, versus our 15th-seeded player, Heavenly Demons in the red. And looking at their compositions, Disloyalist is bringing the Nanman couple, Meng Huo and Lady Zhurong, along with Zhang Jiao. And we have some really good units. We have the Nanzhong champions fighting with their axe and shield, a couple of javelin throwers on Lady Zhurong. It's an interesting pick because the javelins do hurt, but the unit's a little fragile. And then we have Zhang Jiao with the Messenger of Heaven across the board. Definitely a very good cavalry. And we just saw how effective Zhang Jiao can be in our first match. And then looking at Heavenly Demon's side, we have an army led by Yan Yu, Cao Cao, and Lu Bu. So Yan Yu's selection is actually quite smart here, as he has a good passive ability for units that are hiding in trees, and we have lots of trees on this map. So I expect to see him quite a bit in this round. He also has the Mending ability, which gets a shorter cooldown because of Cao Cao's presence. And then we have Lu Bu, who has some powerful ability. And the unit picked here are Cataphracts, which is very interesting. They're definitely strong, but not expecting them because he does have the C-Down Cav available. Maybe Heavenly Demons like their heavy armor. We'll see how they play out. We have one Camp Crusher on them as well. And then we have 4 Qingzhou unit on Cao Cao, as well as 2 Northern unit. So I like this a lot better compared to our previous match because their ability to counter cavalry. And once again, we're running into a lot of Messenger of Heaven on this particular matchup. And then Yan Yu has one of his unique White Tiger archers that have the poison arrow and the secondary weapon, which is a spear. And they do have the mixed missile formation, which makes them good against cavalry, but overall they still have the health of a regular range unit, which is much lower than standard infantry. So they're still not going to be that great in melee combat. It's also ranked up to rank 8, which is smart to rank it up because they will get both the melee benefits as well as the range benefit since it's a hybrid unit. But maybe rank 8 is a little bit overkill. Maybe another unit squeezed in here would have been better. But overall, very interesting matchup. We have damage resistance on one side with invincibility threat on Zhang Jiao. And then for Heavenly Demons, we have bonus passive ability in the trees as well as the Mending ability and a couple of strong generals to aid that. Now, Mending is going to give you 50% armor and 50% evasion, which actually perfectly counters the Flaming Mace debuff that Lady Zhurong brings with the evasion debuff. So we'll see how this matchup plays out and see which side can conquer this ridge. Alrighty, as we load into game here, we can see that Heavenly Demon's actually taken a very aggressive stance. He has 4 deployed, his cavalry's up. They are Cataphracts, which have heavier armor but slower speed. Decent charge bonus and good damage. We'll see how they perform here. And then we have our White Tiger Raider, which is an excellent unit to use in forest. They do have the ability to snipe. So as long as they're in the forest, they don't have stock. So they have to be hidden somehow, and then they can shoot invisible. But the problem is you see the green arrows come out somewhere and you know where they're coming from. So it's not really going to work in PvP, but still very flexible unit. But as I mentioned, it has the health of a range unit with only 45k compared to a regular infantry, which has 72k. So definitely doesn't match up. But Camp Crusher is hiding behind. Maybe it's a bait with a poison arrow and get someone to come over and then have the Camp Crusher come out and deal damage back. But usually you're probably attracting some sort of cavalry or general, so I don't know if that's going to work. Then we have Yan Yu, who we do need to introduce for this round in particular because I'm sure he's showing up again. He has the Stalker ability, which means if you're in forest, you get 30% melee evasion. And the snipe and the range resistance. Those are not important because you don't see much range in multiplayer on your own side as well as on the enemy side. So range resistance plus snipe, not so important. But melee evasion with a 50-meter range just for in forest is very clutch. So with so many trees around, Yan Yu is a good choice. Decent weapon, champion level health at 54k, and Mending, as we mentioned. 50% armor, 50% melee evasion, and a nice little heal. Cao Cao is going to greatly shorten those cooldowns with his impervious presence, as well as support abilities such as Nature's Ally with a little bit of morale boost, and then we get the melee evasion boost with Unyielding Earth. Ribu is the standard, aggressive vanguard with Dragon's Gaze. We didn't really see a good usage of this before. It's not only good at stopping enemy infantry and units, it's also good at debuffing them. So we'll see if this is used well in this fight. And of course, the range smash ability. On the other side, for Han Disloyalist, we can see his army is just basically hiding in the trees. They're tightly packed. We have the Nanzhong champions in the front. They are a decent unit. They have formations, which is their strong point. We get turtle formation, shield wall, and circle on them. And then for the Javelin Spearmen, this is an interesting choice. I'm not sure if they're going to work, but obviously Javelins are strong, high damage, and potentially could, kill enemy generals, which is their best target. The reason why I kind of doubt them is because usually you go with Javelin Spear Guards, because when you put them in turtle formation and they move, they auto fire. For regular units like this, you have to be standing still and then you have to aim at the enemy general. So that could make things a little bit more difficult. Also, without any formations, you're more vulnerable. But we'll see how they play out. The javelins still hurt, and if we can land their damage, definitely very useful. And then the good old Messenger of Heaven double-sized cavalry unit in the back. And we'll see how this one plays out, as the beginning it should be a decent amount of vision game and scouting. Interesting enough, both player has deployed on this side of the ridge. It's the smoother side where all the land can be traversed, whereas this side is the steeper side, and there's areas where you actually can't traverse. We'll see how this one plays out. Lots of scouting by the messengers. The generals are sticking together. You can kind of see how limited the vision is just on this little mini-map. Obviously the perspective is from Han Disloyalist. He's pushing everyone together, so there's going to be no issues when he does bump into a unit. Okay, so they kind of expose themselves a little bit here. The Tingle Spears and the couple Northern Veteran Z are in the back here. The generals have blocked up by themselves. Everyone's on horse, no elephant usage on Menghuo. Here comes the poison arrows. Yeah, they see where the green's coming from. We'll see. Oh, we do have this little trap with the Camp Crusher behind. And with these three generals, the issue is they have no really good smash ability. Here comes Cao Cao, here comes... Yeah, everyone's just rushing over. We got the evasion boost. Their evasion should be all off the charts, 161%. Here comes the messengers trying to reinforce, very important. Cataphracts. I mean, overall, not too much damage done. Lady Jerome got hit a little bit here. Here comes the messengers collapse. I'm trying to see if there's anyone dismounting. The mending's being used. Okay, we do have a dismount here. So it looks like Han Disloyalist went for the dismount. Why are these generals not moving? There we go, they're getting the command. I think he was microing his units. So there was a little bit of a lag, which kind of defeats the purpose of the dismount. Okay, the team drill is pretty steady. They went ahead and started to go harass enemy units. Yeah, the dismount makes them very slow now. So we got a pullback, and basically that didn't amount to much. Very smartly pulling back by Heavenly Demons, worried about the dismounting damage. Charging through, just don't stay still to get hit, and that would just basically be a little bit of free damage. And they're moving to kill Zhang Jiao. Interesting target selection. Are they trying to just get rid of his ability? No, he's just charging between targets. They don't want to get pinned down. We got the micro of the messengers around, looking for fights on the outskirts. Infantry line's pretty steady. Lady Drone's taking a little bit too much damage, in my opinion. Mohu's just not fighting together with her. Okay, we've got the mending usage. So they're fine. Even with the extra attack speed, you're not really doing much into 120% armor and 81% evasion. They're remaining on their horseback to take this fight. 4v3 here. They landed the charge. This side's just steady. I think overall, Han Disloyalist is getting a little challenged with the micro. Like Lady Drone's trading a lot of health into Qingzhou units here, which doesn't make sense. They dismounted too early and they didn't try to remount. Now we just have Heavenly Demon running circles around with their generals that have really good AoE abilities to kill units, and they're trying to stay away. Let's see if they can pin anyone down, get some damage. Unfortunately, no. Right, you're just never going to catch up to them. And then we see the disjointedness of the fight. They did pull a couple units over. Okay, we got ourselves a Dragon's Gaze. She's really trying to kill Lu Bu here. And they're landing good hits. The Dragon's Gaze is just to balance out the damage, and he's pulling his Cataphracts back. I think he did that in the previous engage as well. Really good dismounting. Now they're focusing on Zhang Jiao. They got the mending up. They're not giving up the horses because they don't want to do a showdown right away, because it's an awkward fight where you can't really damage him if you stay. And if you don't kill him, he's just going to damage you, and then you... I mean, right now it's just a patient battle to see if they can pick off Lady Drone, which shuts down the power of Love passive as well. The infantry fight actually is won, mainly because they're pulling a lot of units to reinforce, and you end up with only one more javelin left. With the poison, okay, he activated his one-time ability. It's not really going to help that much. You're really only giving yourself a little bit of melee evasion on top. But right now they're not fighting you, that's the problem. Okay, they're starting to use their cavalry in here. They still can't pin them down. Well, this is risky, yeah. Getting frozen and then maybe getting slammed as well. Yeah. Cao Cao maybe getting pinned, maybe? No, they're targeting Lu Bu. They're not targeting Cao Cao. Cao Cao was by their side, but they really want to get Lu Bu, so they're chasing deep. The infantry is swarming. I guess have the infantry trade health. Yeah, they're trying to force it on Lu Bu. Okay, maybe they got a chance. This tree might block him. Nope. They're charging Lady Drool. Yeah, they want to shut down this power of love right here. Okay, Meng Huo's coming. Maybe they give up this attack now, regroup. People lost some health, but it's not too bad. Giving him the Stalker bonus, which is massive. Too many spear, forcing the messengers to back away. Yeah, that was basically the matchup. They have good enough spear units to kind of counter the messenger in prolonged fights. Weebles send away because he has less health, and we'll see if Cao Cao and Yan Yu can take this fight. Yan Yu taking a little health damage, but Yan Yu has a lot of health. Okay, they got Lady Drool, so they shut down the combo with the damage resistance. He's having a hard time pulling out. He's fully gone at this point. Managed to get away from that. Nope, the trees. Yeah, he's gone for sure, I think, at this point. But they got the infantry on top. Now they're chasing Lu Bu again. I can't believe Yan Yu's hanging on. I mean, Unyielding Earth is kind of giving him some time. Yeah, without that, I think Yan Yu's gone. 6 more seconds. He's wavering when he has 100. You know it's bad when that happens. Lu Bu's helping out the cavalry, taking care of them, trying not to get pinned down, because he's also going to die if he gets pinned down. Oh, Yan Yu bounces back. But there are just so many units. There's almost no messenger left, and they took the surrender. It's only 2 generals. I think Meng Huo didn't die yet? Is that death on Meng Huo? Lu Bu dismounted. Is that Meng Huo falling to his death in the middle of the horse? Might be. But in either case, there were 2 generals left, and even if Zhang Jiao activates his ability, there's only 1 unit fighting back. I think this battle sums it up to dismounting too early is not that great, especially when you still have to fight a bunch of unit. We saw early on when they did the dismount commit over here by Han Disloyalist, he could have remounted, I think, because he found his units together. The battle area was small, but chasing 3 generals on horseback while you're on foot is a little bit limited. You can see the messengers really couldn't bring out any value because they're running up against units that either counter cavalry or is a cavalry themselves with high armor, which actually helped them out in this matchup. And the micro was a little bit extended because there was too many things going on at the same time, and essentially Heavenly Demons was able to send all 4 of the cavalry into one side of the heavenly, the messenger of heaven, and was able to kill off, I think, only 1 of them early on, but still, it was a good trade for them. And overall, just fighting with the units, having the generals go help kill units, you can see the Bull Slam really did a number against those infantry. Essentially, the Nanzhong champions wasn't able to bring a lot of value back. I don't think that's a particularly good unit. Elephants would have been great here. Maybe even just 1 elephant would have been a good solution here, in case the enemy runs a bunch of spear and generals that would kill infantry. Infantry is just not the solution for infantry battles. I think generals is still much too strong, especially if they bring something with Flame of the Phoenix. But overall, good fight. I think we saw, I would sum it down to just having the generals dismounted too early, never recovering with that, and then getting looped around by Heavenly Demon as he poked and prodded and extended the advantage of his generals versus the enemy unit, while, we have a wild goose chase by Han Disloyalist eventually killing Yan Yu, or actually bringing him down really low, routing him a little, seeing him come back. Yeah, that was pretty much the awkward situation, and in the end, we have Heavenly Demon claiming the win. So pretty good match here for today. First 2 match of the round. We have the lower seed taking the win. So 3rd place finish doesn't mean you're worst player, just means maybe you ran into the wrong comp. And both players showed very competent comps for this round, as well as very good micro. And for our first seed and second seed, unfortunately just ran up against some tough matchups here. In the first matchup, definitely a hard counter. In this one, not really. I think this one was a pretty fair, balanced comp on both sides. It was just outplayed, the generals not being microed as well as what Heavenly Demons did. So that's the result here. We'll have 2 more matches tomorrow. Hope you guys are excited for that, and we'll see you all then. Bye.